I'd rather have Trump as a dictator than Biden any day. It's kind of obvious who knows what they're doing. There is no dictatorship with Trump. He cares. He's for America.
Trump wins, will you accept the results?
Of course.
If Kamala wins, will you accept the results?
No.
If you don't like it, don't come here to protest. Don't come if you're uneducated and you don't know what you're talking about.
You would rather they just didn't come
I
here?
would rather them not come here.
Are you a fan of the First Amendment?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, the right to bear arms. Look, this is God.
That's not the First Amendment.
No, the Fourth Amendment. But I'm saying
That's not the Fourth Amendment either.
Which one is it?
And they don't know our American history and our values.
Nor do they respect it.
So when he says poisoning our country, it sounds harsh. It sounds much nicer in the original German.
Yeah.
That Trump is made about women, grab them by the pussy. You could do whatever you want. Like, do those bother you? Do those affect you at all?
I don't bother me.
Just want to check.
LGBTQ, you know, I mean, I think they're garnering a lot of attention that is unwarranted. I mean, they're 1% of the population. So why are we reaching out and doing all this for 1% of the population?
I guess because it's 1% of the population.
I didn't care how things were affecting others until it affected me. Am I proud of that? No. We live in a very cruel world, and sometimes the only way to survive is by being selfish. We are all just out here trying to survive as best we can. And although we may have good intentions and we may be empathetic and we may be compassionate, we will always put ourselves first because we have to survive. And if that means making a mistake in my vote or maybe putting my trust in the wrong person like I did, then that's what it means. I will always put the betterment of my family and vote in ways that I think will help my family above anyone else.
Here's the problem with voting for your self-interest. I understand Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you're on the bottom and none of your needs are fulfilled, you can only think of yourself. But here's the problem with that, is you voted for your self-interest. So did everybody else in the Republican Party. Think about that for a minute. You voted for your self-interest, but you don't have anything. Like, you don't have anything. Like, that's what it is. But other people, rich people, they have a lot. So, of course, they're going to vote for their self-interest because they have something. You don't. You need the tribe, right? The socialized healthcare, the socialized dental care, schools, firefighters, police officers, all socialized systems. Is it clicking yet? You voted against the tribe. You know, humans didn't make it on their own. We always existed in a tribe, taking care of each other. You could only take care of yourself if you have something, and you don't have shit.
Sad day in America when all we can afford is some ground beef. Work 40 hours all week and can't even afford a steak. Something going on. Come on now, Trump. Help us out.
Oh, hey there, bud. I almost missed you. Couldn't hear you over the sound of me munching on my steak. Yeah, it seems kind of interesting. It looks like you're asking for socialism. You're reaching out to the government to help you because you don't have steak money. You only have ground beef money. But you know what? Maybe you should try something. I have a strategy. Why don't you try pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? I think that might help you because isn't that what MAGA has said forever is get off the government tee, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Like, why don't you, sir, just work harder? Why don't you just work more? Why don't you work harder? Because I guarantee, according to your logic, if you work harder, you too will be able to have steak money and not rely on just eating ground beef. But, is that not possible? I bet if I ask you, you'd say you already work hard enough. I bet you'd actually say something along the lines of, I worked my ass off. Well, that's because that's what this country is. So many people are struggling right now to make ends meet. And it doesn't matter how hard they're working. It doesn't matter if they have one job or two or a side hustle or whatever the case may be. People are struggling to have the steak money. That is the point. But you cannot tell me in one breath, socialism is bad, don't go to the government, pull yourself by the bootstraps, and then come on this app and say, Daddy Trump, will you please help me? Will you please help me? I work so hard, I'm so hungry, I want some steak money. And that's not how it works. Maybe find those bootstraps and work a little harder at pulling yourself up by them.
You know, it's funny. Every election season, there's a group of people who swear they're taking their country back. And then a few years later, they're on Facebook and TikTok posting tear-soaked apologies about how they didn't know it would be like this. Well, here we are. MAGA regretting their vote while the cost of living crisis chews through paychecks like a paper shredder. Groceries cost more than rent used to. Healthcare is getting ripped away from people who need it most, and somehow the Make America Great Again crowd didn't see this coming. Now the same folks who laughed at warning signs are out here wondering why their insulin tripled in price and why a dentist visit now requires a small bank loan. We're going to roll these clips, let them speak for themselves, and then we'll talk about why this was the most predictable train wreck in modern politics.
I voted for Trump and I'm sorry. I am uneducated. I grew up in public school system. I believed anything a teacher and a principal told me, and I didn't question it, and I walked in a straight line, and I didn't use critical thinking skills, okay? I didn't read Project 2025. I have a disabled child. I'm a single mom of 3. I believed what he said in his campaigns, and I fucked up, and I'm sorry, okay? Now, we're wanting accountability across the board. It starts with the people like me that made a mistake. I'm admitting it. The first step to progressing in anything is admitting that there is a problem. There was a problem in my judgment. I did not do my due diligence in my research, and I voted in a system that I had not enough awareness and knowledge of until shit started hitting the fan. So if you come for me in the comments and you start all of this hatred, because what we have right now are the people that voted for Trump and that are hiding and that they don't agree, like me, like I was until I'm making this video right now. And then we have the people that didn't vote, and then we have the people that voted for someone else, okay? And then most of all, what we have are citizens of the United States, we the people, complaining that this administration needs to take accountability. We start by leading by example.
Hold on, what did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad, and I'm a mega man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. You know, I was for him because, you know, everything he said, you know, he played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, you know, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. You know, they all the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. I remember what happened in the 80s with trickle-down economics. Yeah, the filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes.
Your kids will never be able to go to college, but at least the billionaires get tax cuts.
Let's go!
Billionaires! Billionaires!
You know what shocks me the most about Trump supporters, or MAGA in general? The fact that they actually think Trump lied to them. Like, no, this man told you exactly what he was going to do. Project 2025 wasn't hidden in some secret vault. It was right there, public, an open book test. And still, folks acted like they had no idea. Now they're crying foul because, surprise, he's doing exactly what he said he would. The problem is, people don't read. Or, as one girl admitted in a clip earlier, I was uneducated. Yeah, we can tell. And if you've been paying attention, none of this is shocking. People like Richard Wolff, actual economics professors, have been screaming about this for years, warning that Trump only cares about himself, billionaires, and whoever serves his purpose, or the people he works for in the Israeli government. And still, a big chunk of America didn't listen. Look around since he's been in office. tariffs crushing small businesses, grocery prices shooting up like a bad stock gamble, people literally deciding if they're buying milk or meat this week. And healthcare? Good luck. Folks are losing coverage right when they need it most. Prescription prices have gone from, wow, that's high, to, do I need to sell my car to stay alive? And the worst part? He was asked about the recession, about the real pain people are feeling. And his response was basically, it's fine. Nothing bad is going to happen. Like, I'm not even making that up. But sure, let's pretend this all came out of nowhere. Let's act like nobody saw the storm clouds, even though they were flashing neon warnings for years. Anyway, let's roll the rest of the clips so you can see just how deep this hole is.
Okay, what the fuck is going on with food right now? This is literally 93.7. It's all organic or whatever, all grass-fed for $10.49 a fucking pound. That's ridiculous. Even down here for $85.15, it's more. It's $11.50. You know that's organic or whatever. But still, you have 96.4 for $8 a fucking pound. What the fuck's going on?
This coffee right here at Costco has more than doubled in price in the last 6 months. I know firsthand because I've been buying this coffee for the last 5 years. Super, super depressing because I actually love that coffee. It's like the best dark roast they had here, and it was such a good deal for the longest time at $9.99. These same mixed nuts right here, I was buying a few months ago for $12.99. We're talking about 50 to 100% price increases on these items. You guys probably know my two favorite things from Costco are the coffee and the nuts, so this is hitting me hard. How many imported products like the oil they have here, the rice they have down there, are seeing astronomical increases in price because of these tariffs. It's specifically because of these tariffs, because I've tracked these prices for a long time, and a lot of these prices at Costco are still going down. Now, Brazil produces more coffee than any other country in the world, and they just got hit on Wednesday with 50% tariffs, and Trump says they might even go higher. For most items here at the grocery store, even ones that are imported like bananas or cocoa or something like that, the price increases have seemed negligible. And the sad part is, even if the tariffs went away tonight, I bet the prices would not go down. Now, what are you guys seeing the biggest price increases on?
All grocery shoppers, listen up. Tomorrow, everything goes up 10 to 50% from the tariffs. If it's, you already know, from wine to fruits to meats, everything, 10 to 50% up is what the percentage is. So if you're a grocery shopper, I would stock up today on if you're a soda drinker or any type of liquors, wines that you like, cheeses, meats, anything that can be frozen, I would stock up today because as of tomorrow, everything goes up 10% to 50%. Things are about to be extremely expensive, and I have a feeling it's going to be cheaper to go out and eat. And I hate saying that, but in some cases it may be true. I kind of want to know what everyone thinks. What are we going to do with these grocery prices? I don't know. You guys leave me a comment. If you're not following me, do the thing. Let's interact together and engage.
People aren't spending any money anymore. They just don't have it. Do you have it? Do you have the money to go out right now and take a vacation? Because I don't have it. A lot of people don't have it anymore. Disneyland numbers are down. All the airlines, their numbers are plummeting right now. A lot of the airlines are in serious trouble right now. But the money's just not there. I'm sitting in front of a restaurant right now that usually has a waiting line that you have to go into. 6 months ago, you had to wait to get in there. Now, I can walk right up to the counter, order my food, sit down, couple minutes. The people just don't have extra expendable money. You go to the grocery store, you're going to spend $200 for 3 people. Who spends less than $100 in a week? Do you spend less than $100 a week? Please like, share, and repost this, but the money's just not there anymore. Return on investment to go to work, just not there anymore. The only people that are spending the big money inside the grocery store are the people with the cards. And I ain't got one. Do you got one?
What the fuck? What the fuck? $17.49 for 1 can of coffee in America. This used to be $11.99 a month and a half ago. Yeah. Are we gonna go uncaffeinated in America? Because of what the fuck? What the fuck? $17.49 for one.
If you think feeding your family is expensive now, just wait. So ground beef just hit its highest price ever in American history. The thing that most of us rely on for burgers, tacos, and spaghetti night, it's becoming a luxury. And it's not stopping here. The experts say that the prices are going to keep on going up and up. Why? Well, it's a couple of things. You got to mix a drought, high feed costs, reduced cattle supply, and corporate consolidation. That means fewer options, higher prices, and families having to make more tough decisions at the grocery store. Even basic meals are turning into a budget challenge. And remember, this is not just about beef. This is about the cost of living. It's another reminder that the average family is being priced out of normalcy. You're not crazy for noticing everything feels harder lately, because it is. And what's being done about it? Not much. Big corporations are raking in profits while you're deciding between milk and meat for the week. So next time you hear someone say the economy is doing great, I want you to ask yourself something. Great for who? Because it damn sure ain't the family that's trying to make tacos stretch for a week.
Well, the big beautiful bill just passed. Thank you, God. This country was getting way too fucking free. At least now the federal government can monitor and survey every single thing I do with AI and facial recognition and drones. Do you know how hard life has been without that? At least public funding is getting cut and healthcare is going to get streamlined, which means less coverage than there already is. At least poor people will die faster because they can't afford healthcare. At least schools will finally be safer. No, not from guns. Those are still allowed in there, but at least they won't have to talk about diversity or black people anymore. At least asylum seekers will finally get fast-tracked to deportation. Yeah, bro, this is the safest country on earth, but only if you're born here. At least when my health problems are misdiagnosed, I can blame it on a computer rather than a person. At least rich people finally get to be richer. Oh my God, do you know how hard they've had it? At least the federal government has way more power than ever before, because who the fuck wants to be free anyways? And finally, half the American workforce will finally be replaced by AI. Thank you, God. Who needs a living wage? What a beautiful country. Who would want to live here?
$17.33. That's how much I paid today for this coffee. I'm here and I'm just adding some numbers together and doing my budget, because you know what? Today I asked my husband, where's the money? We're making the best we've ever made. Both earners, both incomes, good incomes and everything, and we don't have money. We're living paycheck to paycheck basically. So I put the numbers together and I decided to look at my budget. On June the 2nd, 2023, and I'm going to try to insert somewhere here the photo I took a shot of, how much I paid for it. On June the 2nd, 2023, the same exact coffee was $9.92. It's almost doubled in 2 years. Of course, my salary hasn't doubled. My income has not doubled. It went up a little bit, but certainly nowhere near that. And I don't know where my money goes. Every month, I'm struggling.
So have you guys noticed while shopping lately, a lot of the prices are each now? Like the peaches are 78 cents each. I'm going to just walk the area a little bit and show you guys some other prices. The oranges always been by each, but look at the oranges, 97 cents each. I think that price kind of went up. Let's keep walking and see what else they changed from pounds to each. We already looked at the peaches. Let me see. These are each nectarines. They're $1.14 each. Plums are also each now $1.32 each. So when you guys are shopping, make sure you pay attention to the price, because a lot of items are each now $1.14 each for this white nectarine. Long as I've been in retail, a lot of time the prices are by the pound and not by each. So that could be a little tricky, because you might think you're getting a sale and you might think, hey, I'm getting this for 78 cents a pound, price is going down. But really, you're paying 78 cents each. You're paying $1.14 each. You're paying $1.32 for a plum each, per each. So make sure y'all pay attention, okay? Let's look at these pears. The pears are still still per pound, and they $2.18 per pound right now. I don't think the apples went up that much though. I think they pretty much priced, you know, they went up a little bit, but not like, I would say even the pears and the items by each. Have a nice day, bye.
Is it tariffs? Is it price gouging? Look at these prices in my small hometown of Aurora, Washington.
I'm starting to think that Wegovy is gonna go out of business. And not because it don't work. I'm just saying, you ever notice how because of the inflation, how expensive it is to be fat in this economy? Like not just living, but like to actively maintain a big bag. Back in the day, snacks were cheap. I could grab a family-sized bag of chips, pack of cookies, some soda, and still have change for a honey bun. Those were the good old days of budget-friendly gluttony. But now, nah. You can't do that no more. So these days, if you're still holding on to the big back lifestyle, I just know you got money. I know you do. Why? Because the price of eating bad has gone through the roof. A bag of Doritos is basically a car note and you need a credit check to get Oreos. It's actually cheaper right now to eat good food. Whole bag of vegetables is cheaper than a bag of damn chips. I got chicken thighs today cheaper than a couple of bags of Doritos would have been. While a single Little Debbie snack cake, it feels like it's $47. If you're still able to take in 10,000 calories a day, I'm just gonna assume you're either a millionaire or you've got a Costco membership and some prayer. Because in this economy, every extra roll feels like an investment portfolio, you know? What I'm saying is, it's not that Wegovy is about to cure obesity, but it's that inflation is gonna beat it to the punch.
Point, the groceries are just laughable. I'm so like offended by the prices that I actually have to laugh to keep from crying. This is what I bought for myself, not even my wife, just for me the next 2 days to eat because I want to eat healthy before the holidays. I got some grass-fed ground beef, some turkey deli meat, some lettuce, cheese, tuna, carrot sticks, blueberries, almond butter, coffee, and I got a case of water under there, which is like $4. Do you have a guess on what this is? $86.77. How? This is for 2 days. Now, the berries and the almond butter and coffee are going to last me probably a week. So let's say $70 every 2 days. Just for me. That'd be $1,000 if I want to eat this healthy for the entire month, not including my wife. And what about all of you out there with kids? And of course, every few days I get the paper towels, the grocery bags, you know, bars of soap, and that is going to add up.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. I see this every week when we go grocery shopping. And here's this lady saying it's not just Walmart, it's Publix too, it's Target, it's all these places.
So I'm at Publix right now. I got my little reusable bag that just fell on the floor. But how come nobody is talking about $7.29 for a bag of chips? We're all talking about eggs, but what about these $7.29 chips?
Does anybody else get physically ill whenever they go grocery shopping and they see the total when they're checking out? Like my wife and I, we have a family of 5, right? Me, her, and 3 kids. And then you throw in 2 dogs into that as well. She went grocery shopping the other day and she was like sick at the price. So like I checked the bank account and it's $550. And like that lasts us like a week and a half. So I don't even know how the majority of the people out there are even affording groceries these days. I think I'm gonna have to start like tricking on the side or something. Unless she starts selling feet pics, I'm not really sure what to do.
Did you guys see that woman talking about her father getting kicked out of the nursing home? Well, apparently the nursing homes are kicking out their Medicare patients. And she was like, why would they do that? And everyone in the comments was like, honey, this is what you voted for. This is Medicare cuts. This is the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. I work in skilled nursing. 90% of the residents that are in there, they are Medicare patients. These buildings stay open because of Medicare. They will close down. They will not care for your aging parents and grandparents for free. They will send them home to you. You will have to quit your job and stay home and take care of them. That means you're going to have to be the caregiver for your father, your husband, your kids. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to do all this on half the income for your household. This economy is going to suffer greatly when these places start closing down. This is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why I did not want to rely on the U.S. for my income while I'm living abroad. The economy here is bound to crash. When you cut Medicare like that and these places close, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. The dollar is going to suffer. There is no forethought with these people. They have no idea what is happening.
I need someone to explain to me, like I am 5 years old, how it makes sense that a literal doctor who went through undergrad, medical school, years of residency, and is a full-fledged doctor, prescribed my son a life-saving medication that he needs for a diagnosis that he has received. And my insurance gets to say, no, he does not.
And hell, we're human beings. Help us. Give us what we need. We don't want to be the stepchildren anymore.
I am MAGA and a Christian.
I live in a super rural area in Illinois, and recently our local newspapers have started posting about hospital closures and how Medicaid and Medicare funds our hospitals and our nursing homes, and how there's a lot of fear surrounding Medicaid and Medicare cuts and possible job loss, possible department closures. And there are like about 100 MAGA in each post, and they're just like, show me the data. I want to see the numbers. Show me the financials. Like, they'll understand it. It's just so comical to me. They are telling you, we have already closed our OB department. We have already closed this clinic and that clinic. People are already driving an hour to an hour and a half for healthcare, especially women's healthcare or mental health. People are still in disbelief, like the newspapers, oh, you're just a liberal newspaper. Look at you. You've gone woke. It's not woke in a bad way to understand how these cuts and these policies impact us, especially in rural areas. Like, you have to wake up and face reality at some point that you voted for this, and now you're going to be impacted. Your neighbors, your friends, your family, we're all going to be affected by this. It's your fault. You have to open your eyes and realize that. You can't just live in denial. They're telling you they're going to close. When they close, are you still going to be in denial? No, you're going to blame it on Democrats somehow.
This is what our shitty ass healthcare has come to, where my patients need medicine and supplies and their insurance won't cover it, and here I am spending my own money because my patient needs it, and he doesn't have any money and he can't work. And the insurance won't even cover what he needs. And I'm sad and I'm sick and tired of it.
You do not get free health care. You do not get free health care. Do you think that people who are 28 years old that can work and refuse to work should get free health care?
Congressman, a lot's been talked about Medicaid, healthcare, etc. A lot of countries in the world, Europe, Canada, they have healthcare for the people there. outside, just now you said, you don't want to see a lazy 28-year-old get health care, whatever. My point is, every working and retired American should be entitled to health care. Would you sign on or write up a bill for Medicare for all? We've got Medicare now. We can start rolling back the age 5, 10 years at a time. Would you support that?
We can't afford that.
Yes, you can.
So let me get this straight, because I just want to make sure I'm following the logic here. The US government apparently can't afford universal health care for its citizens. Nope, no money for that. But somehow, there's always a blank check lying around to fund whatever war we've decided to stick our nose into this month. Billions for missiles? Oh, no problem. Billions for keeping people from dying because they couldn't afford insulin? Sorry, we're broke. Meanwhile, billionaires, God bless their little rocket-flying hearts, are working overtime to make sure owning land or running your own business becomes some kind of mythical fantasy. Like, yeah, you can totally own your own farm, just as soon as you come up with $5 million in startup costs and magically dodge all the corporate middlemen who've locked down the supply chain. And those same corporations, they're jacking up food prices so high you feel like you're making luxury purchases at the grocery store. Eggs are basically jewelry now. And even after you cough up the cash, the food you're buying, 9 times out of 10, it's ultra-processed garbage that'll send your blood sugar to Mars. Farmers, the people actually growing food, are going bankrupt because they can't compete with corporate agriculture. Yeah, the people feeding us are getting wiped out. But sure, let's keep pretending this is just the free market at work. And heaven forbid you actually get sick in the middle of all this, because then you get to experience the special kind of American fun where you ask yourself, do I go to the hospital or do I pay rent? The answer usually depends on whether you'd prefer to be homeless or dead. And don't even get me started on dental care, unless you think an $800 bill for a toothache is a fun little treat. But yeah, totally, everything's fine. Totally normal country stuff. The rich keep getting richer, the middle class is getting squeezed like a lemon in a cheap cocktail, and the people who swore they were taking their country back are now realizing they just handed the keys to someone who drove it straight into a wall. Anyway, let's get into the discussion in the comments below. Are we doomed? 'Cause I sure as hell don't think we're great again.